Hello everybody, my name's Brian, and welcome to another edition of Affinity. So I wanted to play Mono Blue Affinity, and Mono Blue Affinity does have a new toy in the thing that keeps pooping out constructs whenever you play an artifact that's 3 or greater. However, that card has gotten to be quite expensive, so I went to see how many the deck was even playing, only to find out the decks that are having success aren't playing it. So I think might be a bit of a win more, who knows? So what I did is I took an old list out from Mothball here, and I did make one change to how I play it in person, because apparently I only have 2 Mirrored Forces online. I couldn't be bothered to get a third one, so I threw Emery in here to give me a little bit of recursion. But essentially, Affinity in this modern day of Magic uses the creatures that essentially go to 0, so Frogmite, Soldier's Companion, Mirror Enforcer, and Thought Monitor doesn't go to 0, but it goes to 1 blue and it draws you 2 cards. You also have Thoughtcast, which goes to 1 blue and draws you 2 cards, and you try and win the game that way between your free creatures, your card recursion, along with Urza Saga that allows you to put down big constructs to go over them. You have your little free creatures to get your artifact count up. You have main deck things like Gingerbrute, Lava Spur Boots, Relic of Progenitus, Shadow Spear, Springleaf Drum to get gotten by the Urza Saga. You also have Cranial Platings just to hit really hard and finish the game as possible. In the sideboard, we have Hurkyl's Recall, really as more of a save your own artifacts in the face of some sort of wrath, but also you can pop your opponent's tokens back to hands and put all of yours back down, because that's what our deck is designed to do. Metallic Rebukes just to stop your opponent from doing things. Tormod Crypts as extra. Graveyard Hate as needed. Graft Digger's Cage for the same reason. Pithing Needles just to stop shenanigans. Dampening Spheres to stop combo decks that we can't deal with. Hilariously, with our Affinity, us putting our Dampening Spheres down normally are fine for us. It doesn't really stop us from putting our hand down. It also hoses things like Amulet Titan. And finally, just a one of fun of Etch Champion. Is he good? No. Is he fun? Yes. You get to put him in there, and he has protection from all colors, although there are a lot of colorless threats out there. So obviously this deck is soft to things like Orcish Bowmaster, because you're drawing a bunch of cards, but I think, based on what I've seen in the kind of mid-go leagues going on, I do think it's going to be fine. I think it's just so aggro, it should catch a lot of people out. I don't know if we'll win all 3 games. I think we'll do a lot of winning 1 out of the 3. But let's go ahead and take it into some one-on-one games and see how we feel. I'm going to do one-on-one games as I normally do, in case I end up really needing that final Mirror Enforcer and Emery's not working, or if I want to throw Urza's in here. There's a whole bunch we can do. So let's see if we see success. If we don't, let's come back and try and tune the deck to get some success. Join me, won't you? All right, we lose the die roll, which is fine, but the hand seems okay. I mean, we could turn 1 Frogmite, take it from there. We'll keep, I mean, we could put the Mistveil Bridge down and just play out. Oh, so is it Titan? Rumbling Vestige. Is it I think it's, no, so this is Titan. Do we want to play Mistveil Bridge and our 2 creatures, or do we want, oh good, they already have their own Urza Saga. So we might have to see what we're up against here. Lava Spur Boot. So 1, 2, and then do that as 3. And then the next turn we can play Lava Spur Boots and Frogmite and Emery. So I think that's better. So we'll play Mistveil Bridge. We'll play Memnite. We'll play Ornithopter. Yeah, and then we'll pass. They don't have the amulet yet. They're gonna get it at the end of turn, or beginning of turn 3. So we have a little bit of time. What would be great for us is finding that's not a good sign when there's that. Dryad of Ilsean Grove. So they're probably just moving faster than us, which is funny to say. We do have a Cranial Plating, but a Boreal Grazer has reach, annoyingly. Oh man, they really do have a good hand. We might just get shown the door here. Luckily, we do have the Dampening Spheres to try and stop these shenanigans, but yeah. So Darksteel Citadel, Frogmite, Lava Spur Boots. Yeah, because we can always play the Cranial Plating next turn. And Emery should actually give us some options as well. Here's the one of fun of Emery. Let's see if it does us any favors. It found a Mirror Enforcer, and an Ornithopter. Okay, so it found things. We weren't going to draw that Urza Saga, so there's not much we can do on that front. We do have a Cranial Plating that we can pop on stuff. I do feel like we just get absolutely taken to town, though, at this point. Because they go get, I mean, they can even play out a construct, which looks like what they're doing now, and then they're going to go get the Amulet, and then they can probably just go do Amulet Titan things. I mean, don't get me wrong, my Cranial Plating is going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage to the Ornithopter. I don't know if that's going to be the best The One Ring, that also slows us down something fierce. They're into big draws right now. We really just got taken here, guys. I don't see how we kind of get around this, because even if we find another Mist Vault Bridge, we can't instant speed the cranial plating yet. It would take a whole turn. We find a Welding Jar, so play the Treasure Vault, play Welding Jar, Emery I guess the Mirror Enforcer, because we don't have a way to instant speed we don't have a way to instant speed the cranial plating yet, but we can get it on something. So here's cranial plating. Put it on the flyer, I would assume. And our artifacts kind of have backup right now. The problem is our opponent has protection from everything, and they're gonna draw a whole bunch of cards. So we're set up, but not greatly. Oh, are they gonna bounce something? Oh no, they're just gonna go get Valakut. Simic Growth Chamber. Not great, not great. So they take one. They must have a way of getting the Titan at the point. They're drawing two. They're up to 5 cards. If they don't have a Titan, we have the shadow of a shot. But if they have a Titan, we're pretty done skied here to play out the Growth Chamber 1,000 times. Boy, we did set up. We did actually get a decent board here, but we weren't fast enough, truth be told. Which is interesting to say when you're talking about, you know, what your deck is doing. Crumbling Vestige. So they didn't play the Chamber. They must have a way to play a Titan at the point. I'd be amazed if they didn't. We could just yield. We got nothing going on. Yeah, so they transmute the Teleria West for Summoner's Pact, and they Summoner's Pact for the Titan. Play Titan. They should be able to give it Double Strike and Trample at this point. Oh, they're just gonna Valakut and start shooting down our stuff. Oh, they're just shooting us. That actually makes sense. So just in case you've never been Titaned on turn 4 here, they could do it sooner, but essentially he taps, he goes, gets the land that gives. Oh, he's just gonna get us with Valakut triggers. So 3, 6, 9, 12, a million, 1,000. Oh well. So that's how Titan works. Let's go with Dampening Spheres to turn off their things. What else? So what's bad? Emery, poor Emery, you're too slow. You even technically drew us 2 in that scenario. Just too slow. I think the Welding Jars are too slow too, because we really need to get threats down immediately and start just beating face. I think that's about it. I think just the 3 Dampening Spheres and hoping that slows them down with their bounce lands. Other than that, the plan is just to get a good 7 and deal them a million before they have a chance to respond. Let's try that. All right, so we get to go first this time, which hopefully means things go faster. How important do you think the Dampening Sphere is? I don't think it's that important. I think we need faster than that. I think that's about as good as we're gonna get here. So we'll keep this. We will put back probably even the Shadow Spear. Kind of need our mana. Yeah, unfortunately we have to give up on that. And so turn 1 we go Darksteel, Ornithopter, Springleaf Drum, 2, 3. Actually, no, we might as well just play Mistfall Bridge and Ornithopter. We can't really do much more than that. And then the next turn, everything else kind of plays into itself and we get to Thoughtcast. If they go to the moon, they go to the moon. They did mull once, which leads me to believe they mulled until they either had Urza Saga or the amulet in their hand. We don't have anything to permanently get rid of amulets. The Urkel's Recalls don't really do anything. Yep, they just had amulet. So we have limited time. Because at this point they can go off like next turn. Silver Bluff Bridge. I don't think so. So I think we play Darksteel. I think we play Springleaf Drum. I think we Thoughtcast and hope for Frogmites. Another Springleaf Drum. Well, need to get artifacts on the field. So Springleaf Drum, and the next turn, hopefully they don't find an Arboreal Grazer, and we can cranial plating them for a million. But we did have to take 2 turns, or I chose to take 2 turns setting up. I think that was better to do the draws. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 artifacts, soon to be 6. Oh, if that's all they have and they're just going to turn that into another amulet, we can kind of go a little fast here. Okay, good. So 1, 2. Oh no. You don't have untapped mana. That's so bad. So cranial plating, but we have to tap the Ornithopter to put the cranial plating onto the Ornithopter. Oh no. I think that's gonna get us. I think we're dead now. So even in a deck like this, we were just too slow. Yeah, Microthin's Garden turns into another Amulet of Vigor, and they just absolutely destroy us next turn. Because there's no way we get another turn. Yeah, see, Gruul Turf makes so much. We're dead. We're dead here. Is there anything I can change about the deck is the question. Oh, One Ring. Ugh. Well, they're not going to get us this turn, but they get a free turn. Please be. Ugh, I wanted Thought Monitor so bad. All right, well, we have a big Ornithopter, but the One Ring is racked in half as far as a card is concerned, especially in Modern. So in things like Legacy, where the One Ring is also legal, because Force of Will is a card, it's not played as much as, say, Modern, where there aren't as many counters. Now, don't get me wrong, there are counters in Modern, but they're not as prevalent as in Legacy. So this dude has 2 amulets Amulets of Vigors and 9 cards in hand. We have a 9/2 flyer, and that's literally it. That's a weird card to play. Unless he plays Explore or another One Ring. He could just keep looping One Rings and not give us the chance to do any damage. That's strange. I'm having a hard time believing that you don't have anything to do. You probably have Beseiju, huh? You're probably just going to Beseiju the Ornithopter, and we have literally nothing. Let's attack for 10. Feel like they have Beseiju. Yep, it's Beseiju. We get our island, and we just do nothing. I'm not going to lie, I actually have a tightness in my chest. That's how much I don't like that. Ugh. Well, folks, turns out I was wrong. Turns out this deck is not just fast enough to work. Beseiju is a thing. What's funny too is we have a whole bunch of draw twos, and we just haven't gotten our hands on them. Because if we start like looping Thought Monitor, I don't even get in this, but I do feel like we are dead now. I mean, if we found another cranial plating and they didn't have a way to remove Ornithopter, which I don't believe is the case. I believe, with 10 cards in hand, they have whatever they want. We could even like explode the treasure vault into like 1, 2, like 3 artifacts, but that still doesn't get us lethal. So they have to have a Titan now. Titan, I believe, is an Explorer. Interesting. Another bounce land. Like, what do they think I have that they're not just playing out the Titan going for lethal? Okay, there's the Titan. So this time it has to get what I thought he was doing last time. I don't see him doing Valakut stuff this time because he doesn't have enough things. But if he gets a red source, oh, he just got 2 Simic Growth Chambers. Fascinating. He must have another Titan in hand. Cultivator Colossus puts all the things from their hand into play, right? They all untap because of Amulet. They untap twice because of Amulet. Well, sometimes your opponent just gets to go to the moon. They have 10 cards in hand. Wow. Did they find... Okay. The Hand War Battlement. So they're gonna give the Titan... they're showing 19 damage at this exact moment. So can this give... Yeah. Okay. No, so they're showing 20 damage, I think. So I'm just gonna save myself some time here, because what's gonna happen, in case you don't see it, is everything here untaps twice. So the Gruul Turf untaps twice, the Hanwar Battlements untaps twice. So they're able to give them both haste. They're showing 19 damage at this exact moment, but Oran Reef Vastwood can put +1/+1 counters on both of their creatures, which will allow them to essentially deal over 20 in one shot. So what you've just seen is a tier 1 deck take a tier 7 deck to town. And as much as I enjoy allowing my opponents to go off, I think I'll save myself the editing time and move on to next round. Woof. Okay, we lost the die roll again. Honestly, I'm starting to think this deck might need die rolls just because of how quick splash it is. No lands. No lands, no key. So opponent mulled. I'm also going to mull. This seems better. So we'll keep and we'll put the red tap land to the bottom. And then this way, first turn, Mutavault Bridge, second turn, Soul Guide Lantern. Sure, I don't actually do much with my graveyard. There's a single Emery in the deck, and if I draw it, then congratulations. All right, so turn 1, Memnite, Mistvault Bridge, and we pass. So what's going to happen next turn is we'll play Urza's Saga, Inquisition. No target, because we want the Saga coming down pretty fast. If we played, pardon me, Darksteel Citadel. Oh, we're definitely playing Saga now. 1000%. There's no reason not to. So opponent is on some sort of multicolor fun here. Seems to be black-based. Liliana of the Veil. I actually think I get rid of a Soldier's Companion. Okay, that goes up to 2. Sure thing. Then we play Darksteel Citadel. I can only get up to 3 artifacts if I do the Urza Saga, so I guess I do it at instant speed. If they have me discard again, I think I actually do give up on Soldier's Companion again. They're drawing a card with the Soul Guide Lantern. I mean, they're running out of cards pretty quick. Yeah, I'm gonna give up on the Soldiers. They discard another Lily. I feel like they have some sort of fatal push going on here, but I'm able to make multiple constructs. Yeah, not surprising. Untap. We drew a Frogmite, so we're just gonna create a Saga token. Then what do we get here? I don't have the mana for Lava Spur Boots, as good as that would be, so I do think I just go get a Shadow Spear, and then I just get to play out Frogmites. So the Liliana can tick up again. We'll give up on Thoughtcast at that point, but I think we're in a real good spot unless they top deck like Bantu's Last Reckoning and get rid of all of our creatures. Tireless Provisioner, sure thing. Each player discards a card, so I have 6. I'm gonna get rid of Thoughtcast. Lily's going to take a whole bunch of damage real quick. Oh, and they just scoop the game. That was an example of Urza Saga just, winning. Pithing Needles seem okay. That's about it. Honestly, I got the Emery. Emery just shouldn't be in the deck. They got Welding Jar if they're gonna be using Edict effects and put into 2 Pithing Needles. Seems fine. All right, so game 2, we have an Urza Saga. We have no blue mana. I don't think that's gonna do what we want it to, so I'm gonna mull. This is better. We keep this. We put back one of the cranial platings. I mean, I think they take out out the oh, okay, just a shamble vent. What I was going to say is I think they just take out the Inquisitions because there's so few hits. Play the Mistvault Bridge. Next turn, play Urza Saga and play out Cranial Plating because it's actually the most important. Okay, they don't have anything to do. So Urza Saga, Cranial Plating. So 2 artifacts on the field now with 2 big old 7 drops in hand. Prismatic Ending on Cranial Plating is an oof. It does slow down our plan a bit. So play Darksteel Citadel and just pass because getting down that construct is better than anything else. Although our opponent seems to be playing so much removal. Oh, and they just give up the match. You must have been a brew, must have not been working for them. So we beat a brew and we lost to a real deck. So 1-1 doesn't feel great. Let's try one more with the current list before we play with it. Oh my god, we won a die roll. In theory, this is fine. So Mistvault Bridge, Memnite, turn 2, Springleaf Drum, Frogmite. So Mistvault Bridge, Memnite. Oh, Adobe Acrobat wanting to update. Please leave. All right. Hopefully our opponent is not doing something mid-rangey. He said in the format where everything is mid-rangey. Oh, okay, Tron. So we even get a free moment here. Cranial Plating. Well, Springleaf Drum, then make a mana. Frogmite. And then we really need to draw mana. Because then I think we just put the Cranial Plating on Frogmite and beat in. If we draw an untapped land source, so, you know, the Treasure Vaults, the Darksteel Citadels, you know, those guys would be perfect right now. Another Springleaf Drum. Not exactly what I'm looking for here, because that's not mana positive. So I think what we do is... Actually, wait. We can Thoughtcast. Maybe. They might counter. Okay. That didn't actually draw us anything of note. Woof. All right. So I was really hoping for a mana source there. Didn't get it. Do I even just play out Lava Spur Boots and have 6 artifacts next turn? I think I do. And then the big idea there is if we draw an untapped... I realize I keep talking about these untapped mana sources like they're ever going to show up. But if we draw an untapped mana source, what do you get? We do just get to really knock them real hard. Now, our opponent isn't going to have Tron next turn, which is nice. But, I mean, it's 1 turn away. It's a coming. All right, please. Oh, no. How are we not drawing lands? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 1 mana to play out Soldier's Companion, another mana to give it Lava Spur Boots, or play out Thought Monitor and hope. Don't counter that opponent. It's just a 1 mana 2/2. Don't worry about it. All right, we draw. We draw Urza Saga. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now the Soldier's can come. I have 3 mana total, so I can cast Cranial Plating and put it on the Frogmite. So tap Frogmite, cast Cranial Plating. Put Cranial Plating on Frogmite. Tap that. They're repealing. Spatial Contortion takes out the Frogmite. Sure. Out of mana. That would have really hurt, but we swing for 1 now, and then next turn, we have options. They do get Tron next turn, and they could just play out the Karn that makes all artifacts not do anything anymore. And then, like, we straight up just have to win off the back of our affinity counts because none of our mana works anymore. They play out the 4 mana Karn. We're just locked out of the game. Do they have Tron is question number 1, or do they play out the island they just got? If they have Tron, we're probably in for a bad time. If all they do is play Karn and like kill Mistvault Bridge, then we can kill Karn and we can start chipping in for damage. But if okay, so they don't have full Tron, which is very good. It's kind of quite important. This feels like okay, so it is just Karn the Great Creator. We can't activate any abilities, but we will just be able to kill Karn. All right, so step 1, kill Karn. Attack Karn, attack our opponent, attack our opponent, attack our opponent. We're just kind of having to move fast here because once they get Tron, we're kind of stuffed pretty hard. Play Mirror Enforcer, equip Cranial Plating to, I guess, the Thought Monitor, and then, oh, I can even equip this to the Thought Monitor, give it a little bit more protection. So it has Ward 1, ward of a single digit. Please don't draw Tron. Either they play Tron and they're still in the game, or I think we win. I don't see a world where they can take out all of our threats right now, and we also get Shadow Spear. All right, awesome. So we have things. We have Dampening Spheres and Pithing Needles, which I think is what we want to go for here. Emery, I'm so sorry. Welding Jars. I also don't see them destroying things. I see them exiling them or doing other bad things. Relics really have no targets too. So taking out some useless stuff, putting in some things that hopefully really dumpster our opponent, and we try that. All right, so this doesn't do anything. This is such an easy mull. The turn 1, turn 2 doesn't do anything until turn 3. Seems too slow. Well, we have to keep this now. We're not going to 4. So get rid of Treasure Vault. Get rid of one of the Thought Monitors and just hope out of hope at this point. This isn't looking good, folks. This is not looking good for your Trepid Adventurer. If anyone's hearing a weird thing topping out the mic right now, it's that leaf blower that manages to show up solely when I'm recording. I know some people complained about it last week, and I do understand it's annoying. Trust me, it's real annoying for me too. All right, we draw Springleaf Drum, which actually makes Urza Saga turn oneable. Oh my god, I hate that leaf blower. And if you can't hear it, even better, but if you're hearing weird artifacting in the sound right now, it is a leaf blower. Okay. So next turn, we even get to turn 2 make a construct, and they're just going to take a turn off to do the expedition map, which is great. All right, we play a Darksteel Citadel and pass. And then turn after that, it depends on what we draw. Like if we draw an untapped land, which again, I would love, we could even like Lava Spur up a guy. Urza's Mind. We can Lava Spur up one of the constructs if we draw an untapped land. All right, looks like they're just going to have a Spatial Contortion up. All right, we draw a Memnite. Memnite doesn't do it. So if we spend 2 mana making the construct, which just seems correct, and I guess we just go get the Shadow Spear and not the Lava Spur boots. I mean, we could also get Springleaf Drum. What does that do? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We get the Springleaf Drum, that's 6, and then we can start to Thought Monitor. Yeah, I mean, I guess we're playing against Tron, so let's go get the Springleaf Drum. Play Memnite. Play Thought Monitor. This might just get countered. Oh no, it didn't. Urza's Saga Dampening Sphere. We can't play the Dampening Sphere. Just Dampening Sphere would be awesome though. So play Mistfault Bridge. Play Mirror Enforcer. Attack our opponent for 10. This is what this deck does. It just goes real ham, real fast. We even have some new Affinity toys coming. The target puts in the top of, oh, okay, so they just get to kill it. Oh, sure, why not? All right, so that's really bad. Not gonna lie, that's kind of awful. But the Dampening Sphere next turn is going to be the best if he doesn't slam Karn. If he slams Karn, then we just have to kind of hope we find alternative ways around it. What does it even do as a creature? Flash Ward enters the battlefield. Oh, okay. So it's just a big thing. Cool. Urza Saga. Tap Urza Saga. Tap Darksteel Citadel. Dampening Sphere. Do you have a counterspell opponent? Because now would be the time to play it. They're thinking real hard. They must have the counter, but they don't know if they care or not. I do recall Blue Tron. Oh no, they just scooped the match. Can't beat the Dampening Sphere. All right, 2-1. So apparently it's matchup specific, and this is really soft to Amulet Titan, which is a really good deck. So that is what it is. All right, let's go ahead and move on to round 4. All right, we win the die roll. This hand seems fine. We don't have any blue mana, but we will once the Urza Saga goes off. I mean, it's hard to not keep a hand with 2 Urza Saga with this deck, because like literally everything is an artifact, with the exception of the other Urza Saga and that one Fun of Emery to just kind of keep bringing stuff back. So Treasure Vault, Ornithopter, Welding Jar, pass. Verdant Catacombs, play. Soldier's Companion. All right, Urza Saga. We could even cycle Soldier's Companion based on our need, but right now we don't need to, because we could cycle it for like a Darksteel Citadel, and that kind of makes our Urza Sagas better. We might end up doing that. We'll see what our opponent does on their turn. Another Verdant Catacomb. They just besage you Urza Saga. That hurts. Ugh. So we're gonna cycle this now. We're gonna go get a Darksteel Citadel. Go get the island. Yeah, that hurts. Frogmite helps though. So if I play out Urza Saga to try and get that going, and then I play Frogmite for the Urza Saga mana, then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can go 5, so I can just Thought Cast. Okay, this is fine. We haven't done anything, but then again, so has our opponent. Like, they besage you to our land. Oh, his name is Elf Lord, and he's playing elves. Look at that. Yeah, that's a thing. You get all sorts of elves opponents. We draw the Shadow Spear. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be 5. That would be 6. So if I play Darksteel Citadel, can't quite play the I can play the Shadow Spear, but then I can't Thought Monitor. And if I play Spirebluff Bridge, can't do that because, yeah, I can't do that either. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So I guess what we do is we play Darksteel Citadel, play out the Shadow Spear, and we pass. I don't think they can Elf Ball from where they're at right now, and us getting the giant Urza Saga, plus the fact that we're going to Lava Spur boot the Saga token, I think is going to be great. Overgrown Tomb. Okay, so they can play big things now. Big thing coming in? Yeah, there's Azuri. There's the thing you don't want to see. I do think our Saga token is going to go the distance, though. To make a big guy, we draw. We draw another Urza Saga, which even means we get to make a token. Okay. Go get Lava Spur boots. Is that what we get? Or do we get the other Welding Jar? Now let's just get Lava Spur boots. We play Urza Saga, and then we equip the Shadow Spear to the Construct token. We're always 1 mana short to get these Lava Spur boots up and running. You know, it is what it is. Swing with a 10/10 trampling lifelink. That has trample and lifelink. Okay, there we go. Yep, you get regeneration shields. That's fine. I still gain 10 life, which was actually the important part of that. They go to 9, I go to 30. Seems decent. Ugh, that thing's annoying. The first strike death touch is annoying, not gonna lie. Do they attack? No, okay. So, untap. Urza Saga ticks up. We find a cranial plating. I think that should do it. So play 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. We can play the Thought Monitor and the cranial plating, which I think we'll do. Oh wait, they have nothing that stops flyers. So still 1 mana short though. We're always 1 mana short. That's so rough. I can Gingerbrute though. So, but no, I'm still off of Gingerbrute. Okay, so I think it's just cranial plating then. Oh, but the first strike would kill it, wouldn't it? So play out Memnite. I played that kind of wrong. Equip this to Ornithopter. I should have just moved everything to the Ornithopter and won, but I screwed up. Okay, I win anyway. Okay, against elves. It's just the Pithing Needles to name the 2 overrunny creatures. Yeah, that's about it. Poor Emery. Poor Emery. Welding Jar seems okay. Everything seems good though. Guess oh wait, no, the relics don't do anything. Relics come out, Emery go back in. Pithing Needles go in. Okay, cool. All right, so seems quick-ish. So we'll keep this turn 1 Spire Bluff and our 2 little guys, and then turn 2 Darksteel Citadel cranial plating and take it from there. Yep, Elfish Mystic. We're not running removal opponent, so we're just running he who goes fastest. Frogmite. That's even going to make next turn even better. So cast Memnite, cast Ornithopter, yield the turn. Cavern of Souls naming elves. We also did not bring in our counter spells. Llanowar elves, sure. Into the Lord guy. Heritage Druid. That is actually kind of unfortunate. They do get to play a big thing now. You've Crown Visionary, sure. Pick your poison. Well, that happened. Urza Saga. Does that change any? I think it does. I think Urza Saga is just such a good card. You have to play it when you get access to it. And then we play the Frogmite, or just take our beats and play the cranial plating. Because we can play, I think we just play the cranial plating. And then next turn, we get a free Frogmite. Yeah, come on in. Water's fine. All right, they deal me 6. That's fine. They're down to 0 cards in hand. So if we can just, like, become bigger than they can handle. That takes up to 2. That's fine. We draw another Thoughtcast. So play the Citadel, and then we're just gonna play Frogmite. And then we pass, because we're gonna have the Frogmite and the Urza Saga token on D. And then we get another Urza Saga token after. So we'll have a big board, and hopefully the next card we draw is a blue source. Although most of our blue sources are tapped. Oh, they found an elf, and they get to draw now too. Yep, can't be countered. They paid the mana, so they get to draw a card and go again. They do get to go wide. They do. Looks like they're just kind of storming off at this point. Please find a land. Please find a land. Darn it, that's not a land. Okay, so they're storming off. That's unfortunate. We do get to get the Shadow Spear. Oh no. I don't think we could just kill him in one shot though. Force of Vigor. That is really bad. Force of Vigor is bad. The good news is the rest of our lands were indestructible. Darksteel Citadel, sure thing. So we even get to Thought Monitor? Please draw something of note. Frogmite doesn't really count, does it? All right, well, we have a bunch of blockers. So, I mean, they might just try and storm off again. We could swing for 8. We're at 14, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And we do have some blockers, so we might as well rumble in with the 8/8. Actually, they took a bit of a risk, because if we had another cranial plating, we could have really done a number on them. Okay, so they drew a land, which is wonderful. Just absolutely amazing. And so they can rumble in if they want, but I'm super happy I attacked. Because I will do some trading here. Because I just have to keep up 4 artifacts for Thoughtcast, so we can get rid of the Frogmites. Come on, swing in. You know you wanna. Swing in, big guy. Okay, opponent saw the line. Cranial plating. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, we just get them. So cranial plating. This should elicit a scoop. They're actually making a new cranial plating in it's like a creature. Whip and 2 Thought Monitor. But it costs red. Oh, that's the game. We are technically 3-1 going into the final. Let's go. Yeah, we'll talk about that creature in the next game. All right, lost the die roll. This hand is unplayable. But yeah, that new affinity creature, the living weapon cranial plating that cost Rakdos to cast. This is fine. Give up on probably the relic. It's interesting, not gonna lie, but it does take 2 colored mana. It's the also thing with like that dragon that they shown off, the flying 5/5 that fire breathes. Misses again. Well, I'm glad I got rid of the relic now, because it just would have been discarded. So yeah. yeah, that's a whiff on the Inquisition. Shadow Spear. Well, guess what's coming immediately out of my hand? Shadow Spear. Yeah, so there are some interesting affinity creatures. There's also like the new Frogmite / Mirror Enforcer that you can either have come out as a 2/2 for red mana more or less, or just be another Mirror Enforcer for a whole bunch. Scrabbling Claws, Echo of Eons. Uh-oh, apparently Relic of Progenitus was important. Here come Urza Saga. Need to get me my graveyard hate. Ornithopter, so that's 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5. So not quite able to get the Mirror Enforcer out. Next turn, however, we will kind of set up. I do feel like we're about to get comboed out here. Another Scrabbling Claws, that's not good. My Urza Saga ticks up. We have a Thoughtcast. Cool. Play an island. I think we just pass. And we're just gonna put up the Urza Saga token. And then we'll probably put up another Urza Saga token. I'm not sure what to expect my opponent. I'm sure nothing good. Orcish Bowmasters, sure. Well, that was a card we talked about earlier that was gonna hurt us. Oh, they just echo and they ping us for 1,000,000, huh? Oh, that's what's about to happen. Because they Echo of Eons. Oh, Duelist of the Mind too. Oh my. Well, luckily for us, they didn't do it this turn. They waited a turn and now we get to relic their graveyard. I don't know why they did that. They could have really set themselves up for a W here, but I mean, I'll take it. They also, well, I guess they couldn't have here. So what do we draw is the question. We draw an Urza Saga, which actually means we can even make another construct token. Do we risk it? I think we can. I think we can be greedy here. Make another construct token. Go get relic. Play Urza Saga. Please don't kill the relic. Good. Exile relic. They can deal me a damage. That doesn't matter. All right. Free Frogmite. So attack with our 6/6. We have many 6/6s. Yep. They jump with the token, which is fine. They can commit crimes with the Scrabbling Claws. I think this only triggers once each turn, though. Yeah. Another Duelist of the Mind. Okay. That's what the Scrabbling Claws are there to constantly commit crimes. We actually have no play here, so we'll just. I do think next turn we maybe don't make a Urza Saga token and we just equip the Shadow Spear to one of our constructs. If they have the Fatal Push, that's kind of rough. Well, they clearly have something. They wouldn't have just done that. I don't think their final card's Fatal Push, though. Yeah, you can hit me. That's fine. Springleaf Drum. Cool beans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can even use 1 mana or Springleaf Drum, then Mirror Enforcer, then equip the Shadow Spear to a construct token. They must have some sort of thing in hand. We'll just attack with everything. They must have some kind of removal spell. They wouldn't have just taken 2 off a Watery Grave for no reason. Scrabbling Claws, sure. Oh, are they just hoping to dig into something? All 4 counter spells. Okay, they discarded Scrabbling Claws. So did they find removal? They're gonna block that. They're gonna block that. Sure. They get to eat the Frogmite, which is fine. I deal them 9. Did somebody have first strike? Oh no, they just paid 3 life for Bitter Triumph. Okay. We're just gonna pass. I don't feel like taking damage off of Bowmasters. Plus, like, the Thought Monitors are just gonna die to Bowmaster. Exile the Frogmite, sure thing. Right, so this next turn. Oh wow, they're even attacking with the Duelist of the Mind. Okay. Oh, it has Vigilance. Why? So this turn we draw, we see what we get. We get a Mist Vault Bridge. I do think we just load a mana. What do we want to get here? Let's get a relic. I think a relic is fine. Relic fine, or do we want something like Gingerbread? Yeah, let's relic. It'll take out their graveyard if they ever get the thing back in. Play Mist Vault Bridge. Equip this to the construct again. Wait, you even get to keep mana up. Or Relic of Progenitus. Look at me. Right, cool. We attack with our 2 creatures. Oh, they scoop so fast. In sideboarding. All right, so Grafdigger's Cage, Dormod's Crypts. Seems good. Sorry, Emery. They have so much graveyard hate. Welding Jar for the Tormod's Crypt, and Welding Jar for the Tormod's Crypt, and just go anti-graveyard. All right, let's see if we can end on a 4-1. Lost to the one real meta deck. Fingers crossed. Let's see how we do. Okay, what do we have here other than a pile of sad? 1, 2, 3. Nah, can't do it. Mull. This seems slightly better. Keep. What do we give up on? We need the mana producers. Tormod Crypt seems important. I guess it's the Cranial Plating, as sad as it is. Actually, cancel. Let's give up on the Memnite, because we have a whole bunch of 0 drops. Okay, they don't even Inquisition us because they opted to go with a Surveil land. Unmoored Ego, really? Against an Affinity deck. So I can play Ornithopter. Yeah, I'm going to play Mist Vault Bridge. I was thinking about maybe playing Frogmite turn 1, but having blue mana up turn 2, and also the choice to play Cranial Plating if it comes up, I think is more important. Watery Grave. Opponent just keeping up removal here. Treasure Vault. Well, we get a free Frogmite. And I think we do play out the Happy Hat. And the next turn we'll play games with the Happy Hat. But, oh no, it gets countered. Aha, okay. That happens. So Happy Hat gets countered, which is fine. We have redraws. I'm surprised it kept so many counterspells in their deck. All right, what's their play? Because they're not going to do nothing. Unmoored Ego. Sure. What are you going to name? What are they just going to go for Happy Hat? Or maybe Urza Saga? Yeah, they named Urza Saga, sure. They took 4 lands out of our deck. It's funny how Urza's lands are what always get called with Unmoored Ego. So they took an entire turn off to remove Urza Saga out of our deck, which is fine because we found Cranial Plating. That's gonna feel bad. I have to say. Put it on the Ornithopter. Deal 9. So they go to 8. So they have to answer the Ornithopter now. That's why Unmoored Ego is only good when like removing those 4 cards. Yeah, we win the match. Removing those 4 cards have to be like game winning. Cool. Technically 4-1. Let's go to the wrap up. All right, so it's technically 4-1. We only went up against one meta deck and it thoroughly stomped us. And I do think those meta decks are in a league of their own. Like if you go to a Modern event, you're going to expect to play those big kind of meta decks. There's always going to be people even in Friday Night Magics who are playing them. Sometimes it's even me. Most of the time it's even me. But eventually what happens is I find with most Magic players, and there are Magic players who never get over this, but there are a good amount of Magic players who just get bored of playing the meta decks. You know, a lot of them are linear. Yeah, you win a lot of games, but it's just the same thing over and over and over again. So they kind of get bored of it. And then you start to do things like this. And that's what happens when you get tired of the meta decks. You buy more Magic cards and you start playing more offbeat things to see if you can make them win. And I think we saw a lot of that in the one-on-one today because people weren't necessarily playing the best decks in Magic. They started playing things that are fun. I also think I'm seeing a lot more random nonsense happening in Modern right now because Modern Horizons is literally a few weeks away as of the recording of this video. And there's going to be a lot more things added to Modern. Essentially, it's going to rotate. So there is an argument to be made to dust off your old decks because who knows what's going to accidentally become broken when they try and give certain decks certain cards. And yeah, I mean, 4-1 deck did fine. Kind of unfortunate that we lost the first game because you know, behind the curtain, guys, so many people log off when you lose that first match, and we lost it 0-2. So to like the 15% of you who are still watching this video, thank you very much. If you're not subscribed, it always helps to do so. I like seeing that number go up. If you have a list you want to see me play, go ahead and email me at heydummyplaythis@gmail.com. That's heydummyplaythis@gmail.com. And I will catch you guys next time. Later.